What's up, party people? Welcome to Learning with me. So let me show you what you're doing this week because I don't want you to get lost. All right. So if you look on your lesson this week, you've got things broken down, steps 1 through 3, and then steps 4 and 5. So you can either do this on 2 different days. You can do this all in one day. The way that I've kind of created it flows. So if you want to take an hour or 2 hours and just knock it all out at once, that's fantastic. Don't forget to read for fun. Find something you like. If you're still struggling or you can't find anything, please send me an email or something like that. Also, don't forget office hours. 10 I'm on from 10 o'clock to 12 p.m. But my specific Zoom for you guys is 11:30 to 12 o'clock. I put it a little bit later in the day, hoping that you'll be awake. So please show up, come in, talk about your story, talk about what you're reading, talk about what you're writing. Or if you just want to have it open so that you don't have to work alone, that is also an option. So just want to let you know that that's what some kids have been doing. So here's what I'd like to show you. There we go. So this is we're going to go over your your Langlet turn-in sheet. So this is going to be just on Google Classroom. I tried putting everything on ManageBack this week, but I don't think that worked out quite as well as I had hoped. So I think what we're going to do is keep putting everything on both Google Classroom and on ManageBack. So most likely you'll be turning formative homework things like that on Google Classroom, and then on ManageBack we'll focus on putting essays and things like that. So like your final story for this unit, that'll go on ManageBack. These, I think it's a little bit easier just to stick to Google Classroom, so we're going to do that. So here's a fun video since we're starting the week with May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, I know, super nerd. I'm not sorry. You've got your post secret. So found one on the current quarantine. Again, you can give advice, you can relate, you can put yourself in his or her shoes. Remember to not, this isn't a judgment time or place, or you can write whatever your heart's content desires. So if this is a place where you want to talk about your own experience during the quarantine and coronavirus, you're more than welcome to do that in this place. So this is a spot just kind of for your own sentences and your own thoughts. So you can either write it directly into the Google Doc, or you can post, write it out and then take a picture. Some of you, your handwriting is nearly impossible. You know who you are. Please type it. Your reading journal for the week, so kind of like your Wednesday work, is describe your favorite character in the book you're reading in 4 to 5 sentences. Tell me about their personality, how you imagine them, what they're learning, what they want, maybe what they need. Pick a character and write that in there. I'm on a new book right now. I'm reading Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. And right now I think the main character wants to get the heck out of where she's at right now. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Third thing you're going to do this week is watch this really cool, informative YouTube video about want versus need in a character. The stories that we are drawn to and the characters that we feel like we connect to often have a want, something that's outside of them, and a need, something that they need that's inside. Often we're not always aware of our needs. And that's part of why we connect to characters so much, because they need some of the same things that we need. And there's that camaraderie there that binds us together. So if you could watch that video, that would be great. And then I want you to summarize, based on what is said in that video, what is the difference between a want and a need? How are they seen externally? Are they internal? Some examples, things like that. So you just need to show me that you understand, when we're talking about characters, what's the difference between a want and a need. Finally, I want you to go back to your story chart that you were supposed to make in that first week after spring break, where you created a chart where it's like, intro, kind of middle, ends, climax kind of a thing. And I want you to pick your main character, figure out who that is. And obviously you probably didn't think about this much detail when you originally wrote it. That's fine. Now you get to create it. If you didn't create that story chart, I highly recommend going back into that. And as you adjust this, as you create your character, you might want to go back and change a little bit of that story chart. That's totally fine. It is not a final draft. You're still working on that. So go back to your original story that you made earlier and think about your main character. What's his or her, or maybe it's an animal, greatest need? Include that in detail. What's their need? Also tell me about what are their wants. And that's going to help you build your story around that. Every character has to want something or need something, and the story is often built on them trying to get those things, but running into problems. And that's where we get the story from. Finally, your personal journal this week is based on one of our ATL skills, and it's our social, it's personal management. So how do you manage your own emotions? So self-management, that's what we're going for. I know during this time, if you're like me, you might have a bit of a roller coaster going on. Like there are, days where I am just peachy, working really hard, but I'm okay. And then suddenly this like wave of stress will hit. And it's more just kind of like it's building up, building up, building up. And then it kind of hits me and it's like, oh my gosh. And it's surprising because, we're at home and it has a different type of stressor. So how are you managing in those times? And if you're not managing well, talk about it. If you are finding cool new things and ways to manage your emotions, fantastic. Tell me about them. If you're feeling a little gutsy, I've included a video for one of my favorite yogis. She's super cool, super chill, and really just kind of gives you space to just try stuff and not worry about doing anything perfectly. And she's got a 15-minute meditation focusing on kind of anxiety and de-stressing, which I thought would be really, really useful right now. So take a look, write your response, or if you're not feeling very meditational right now, that's totally cool. Another way to manage emotions is through humor. It's my favorite. Tell me something funny that happened this week. Bring up something that cracked you up. Did you see something that made you laugh? Did you watch a video that made you laugh? Feel free to share it. I need those as well. I've been watching a lot of dog fail videos because I'm preparing for a puppy to show up in a couple of weeks. So there have been a lot of silly dog videos passing around my house lately, more just to prepare ourselves for what we're about to have happen in our lives. So please jump onto a couple of at least one Zoom meeting this week. I'm going to make that mandatory because I need to see your faces. I need to see that you're okay. And if you can't make those hours, feel free to make an appointment with me at some point during next week. Because if I don't see you, if I don't hear from you, I'm going to start looking for you. All right. So that's going to be phone calls. It's going to be a lot of stuff. So miss you all so freaking much. Please come talk to me. If you're falling behind, if you're stressed out, or if you're overwhelmed, I can work with you, but I can't help you if you don't contact me. So let's talk. Good luck this week. Work hard. Take care of yourselves. And if nobody told you today that they love you, just remember that I love you. And I'll see you later. Bye, guys.